Angel is talk about the All-Star snubs. Yes, there's a couple with the Houston Astros, but there's a couple around baseball that are just kind of like, what the heck is going on? There's some in the National League, there's some in the American League, and it's just like, what's going on baseball? And there's some injuries, like Yordan Alvarez is out, and there's a couple other people that could be out. And so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the Angel series on this edition of Locked On Astros podcast.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you on this Monday evening?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Alrighty, the Astros are just waiting for this All-Star break, but they got a couple more series to play, and then they're going to have a little breather. And I know Alvarez is going to have a little bit more of a breather, but hopefully he can get his little hand situation fixed. And hopefully it's not a long, extended stay on IL, because we need the big fella. He's been the Astros MVP, and some can argue that he is the MVP of the American League. But he was one of the guys that did make the American League All-Star squad. We'll talk about that. In case you missed yesterday's show, we'll talk about the guys that did make it. But guys, I do want to say thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen, whether it's on YouTube. Go subscribe to us and just push that little red button that says subscribe, and go and listen to us on your way to work, on your way home from work, while you're at work. Just don't tell your boss. Just put your little AirPods on, and when he starts talking to you or she starts talking to you, just go. But you're really listening to Brett and I talk. And listen to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check out the Locked On Astros podcast. So, we want to talk a little bit about the Angel series, but we want to start off with kind of the snubs across baseball. And we want to start off with the Astros. And I'm going to be the glass is half full type of guy and say, Brett, you can't have all Astros. I know that in 2017 and 2019 or 2018, one of those years, the Astros had 6 players, both those years on All-Star squad. That ain't going to happen every year. So the fact that you had 5 players on the All-Star squad, that means that your team is good. So you should be thanking Major League Baseball, the fans, the commissioner's office for having 5 players. But there are some deserving candidates who probably should have got the All-Star, made the All-Star team, but you can't reward them all. So let's go and go over the Astros who should have made that roster.
Well, the Astro that should have made the roster, hands down, was Ryan Stanek. Ryan Stanek, 28.2 innings pitched, strikeouts. 16 of those innings were high-leverage innings, Eric. This guy's got a .63 ERA. He has 1 save and a 1.08 whip. He is one of the, if not the perennial relief pitcher. Now, the problem with adding relief pitchers is the All-Star roster is so limited. I was thinking about this today. You've got to get your closers in that are having good years. After you get your closers and your starters, you don't have much room. So literally, you had 3 relief pitchers make the roster. Rafael Montero, I thought, deserved a nod. Now, I tell you, if Ryan Stanek would have pitched 10 more innings, if Montero pitched maybe 10 more innings, then you might have a case for them being in the All-Star game more. But I think 6 numbers are stellar and stand up against anybody in this All-Star season of voting.
Yeah, the 5 that we got on are just awesome, and they deserve to be there, especially Kyle Tucker with the year he's having. But yeah, I would agree that definitely Stanek should have gone there with his numbers he's having. And if you're looking at what Hector if you would ask me maybe a month ago, I would have said Hector Neris should have been there, but he's
Right.
gone across some rough times. But Rafael Montero, he was a find for the Houston Astros. He was kind of the throw-in to the Kendall Graveman trade, but he ended up being one of the Astros' keys to bullpen with a 3-0 record this season with a 1.87 ERA, with 38 strikeouts and 33 and 2/3 innings pitched, with a 90 where was that? I lost it. A .98 whip. So overall, he's having a great season. So you can say maybe he deserved it. And I know it's if he would have been up here for a whole season, there could be a case for Seth Martinez, but he was not up here for a whole season. But there's just so many good pieces to this Astros rotation, the roster. But Framber Valdez, especially with his quality starts streak that he's going on, he absolutely deserved to be on that
Oh
roster.
yeah.
Justin Verlander, I still don't think he's going to pitch. He deserved to be on there. And it just, I think I don't think it's because Stanek was not a closer. I think that they put players on the team who are not closers before. I think it's just a fact that they just ran out of room and they have to have representatives from every team.
Well, and I thought that
There's
I
gonna
thought
be there's gonna be people drop out. So I guarantee if somebody like Justin Verlander or somebody comes out, no, let me rephrase this. Let's say Justin Verlander comes out and says, "Oh, I'm not going to pitch," or somebody gets injured down the road. I want to clarify that. So there's no
well,
confusion there.
I think Verlander would have to bow out totally of the All-Star game. He can't just say he's not going to pitch. They're not going to replace him if he's there. He's got to say, I'm not coming to the All-Star game for them to replace him. The pitcher, and I had it pulled up, but I don't have his name, the kid from Cleveland, who is their closer, has 19 saves. I was like, oh, well, maybe Cleveland needs a representative, but they've got Jose Ramirez. Again, it's splitting hairs. It's
Right.
being nitpicky. But Ryan Stanek, I think, of all these relievers that are mentioned and all the guys that made it in, they did have about 9 or 10 more innings. That was probably, it was their, they had more body of work, more foundation. But with the foundation Ryan Stanek gives you, it's one of the most solid half season performances that we've seen out of a relief pitcher in a long time. And it does remind me of the shutdown closers and relief pitchers we've had over the last few years.
All right, so let's kind of go on from the Astros and let's look at a couple snubs from across baseball. But before we do, did you hear that Albert Pujols is going to be participating in the home run derby? Is he going to be walking up with the little
With
walking
the
thing?
walker? Oh my gosh. Wow. I wasn't gonna go there. Dang, you went below the belt,
I'm
Eric.
just kidding,
Penalty.
Pujols. But
Party
anyway,
foul.
so
No, he's not. He's old. Like, is this the old timers game? I'm sorry. Okay, give him the special honorary, like, senior adult, like, edition all-star selection, right? Him
yeah,
and Miggy, I get it. Miguel Cabrera gets to play with Justin Verlander again. Really cool, nostalgic moment. But Albert Pujols in the home run derby, you know what this tells me? People aren't participating in the home run derby. Yordan Alvarez obviously is hurt. I don't think he was going to end up doing that anyways. But yeah, the bus driver said, should we call it the nursing home run derby? Wow. Oh my gosh. Y'all are brutal. Look, man. Look, and watch Albert Pujols go out there and get he like a steroid shot in his back or something. Not steroids, but like a steroid shot like you get at the doctor when you're sore. And he goes out there and crushes like 20 home runs and wins it. Or they give Albert Pujols the juiced baseballs. I mean, why not? Give the dude a metal bat. Who cares? Make it fun.
before we give the rest of the snubs, you know what? I think you got it wrong. Forget the steroids. I think Albert Pujols just needs a built bar. I think that's all he needs, and then he can go out there and hit home run left and right. They move in the fence for him, right?
Yeah. Wow. Man, you are going hard at Albert Pujols. Well, hey, let me tell you something, Albert Pujols. It's okay. There's this new built puff called Coconut Brownie Chunk Puff. That's right. It's a mouthful, and you'll eat 2 or 3 if you're not careful because they're that good. They're wrapped in 100% chocolate. What's great about this protein bar is this puff is a protein infused marshmallow puff. The protein they use is collagen, and so it absorbs in your body more efficiently. All Built Bars are made with collagen protein, and the best part is they taste amazing and they're good for you. So go grab a Built Bar, and maybe we should send him a box of Built Bars or Built Puffs because that would probably help him get it over the top, right? Coconut brownie chunk Built Bar is the flavor you'll love. It's delicious. It's marshmallowy. It's covered 100% chocolate. So this is what I need you to do. If you want this rich, creamy, marshmallowy brownie taste, stop fantasizing. Go to built.com and use the promo code LOCK15 and get 15% off your order. Use the promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com.
Somebody suggested in chat that maybe Brad Lidge needs to pitch to Albert Pujols,
Ooh,
and then
I
maybe
was
he can set some home runs. So maybe
oh,
we
I
can
don't
watch. Maybe we can watch a home run derby, maybe at Hooters.
exactly. Maybe we could watch one at Hooters. And, Hooters is the place that you want to go. If you're in the Houston area, Webster Hooters is the place to go. It's the NASA Hooters. It is off of 528. You go there, you meet Rosie. She's an awesome manager there. You meet the world famous Hooters girls. You get the 3 Mile Island buffalo wing sauce like I do, or you just get whatever you want. If you want to get chicken fingers, if you want to get brews, if you want to get just whatever they have on tap, they have the best beers. They have a place for you and your buds to watch all the baseball you want, all the Astros games, the home run derbies. Oh, and guess what? They even will take trips to the ballpark and you can go to an Astros game with the world famous Hooters girls. It's always a hoot of a time. They have specials like Thursdays where they have drink specials. They have drink specials throughout the week. They have weekend promotions when there's UFC fights. They bring people in. They have an amazing combination of food, of fun, of buds, and once again, the world famous Hooters girls. So go to Hooters Webster, NASA Hooters Webster, and tell them that the boys at Locked On Astros sent you. I promise you, you won't want to miss it. And maybe one day we'll do a live show from there and you can come hang out with Eric and myself at Hooters in Webster. Check it out.
Alrighty, and I am totally kidding about the Albert Pujols commentary. I mean, this is a guy that's crushed the Astros over the years, and this is kind of his swan song, so to speak. He's retiring, and so this is just a lot of frustration over the years for him killing the Astros pitching. So he's
We don't need to
yeah,
apologize for that, dude. He's
yeah.
old. He should not be in the home run derby. Sorry, this is not the senior.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to our all-star snubs. So let's do one each. From you do one from the American League, then I'll do one from the American League. You better not steal my guy. Okay, since he went away, I'll go ahead and do my guy from the American League. I think that one guy that should be in going to the All Star game is I know he's a guy that's we probably don't like, but he's having a heck of a season with the Mariners. It's Ty France. Ty France is having a season that nobody would have predicted. This is a guy that hasn't really hit well in the past, and he's just having a heck of a season. I just don't see why Ty France is not in the All-Star game.
Yeah, there was a rumor going around that Dusty objected to him being on the team, which is absolutely absurd. I don't see that happening. Dusty's not that kind of person. Dylan Cease is a guy that I'm surprised isn't on this All-Star roster. He's having an absolute great year. When the White Sox have had the problems they've had with the losses they've had because of the injuries and the offense not being there and players being on the IL, Dylan Cease has not ceased to amaze and has done a great job in the first half. I think Dylan Cease very much deserves a spot on this roster. And, here's the thing. With Justin Verlander, if he doesn't pitch, they better start McClanahan as the starter because he is the guy that is fighting right now, Justin Verlander, for that Cy Young in the second half because he is quietly having an amazing year because people aren't talking about it.
All right, and I'm not going to mention this dude outside of mentioning his name, but actually, Carlos Rodon actually mentioned that Dylan Cease. I don't care about me, but Dylan Cease should be an All-Star game. This is ridiculous. He's having a heck of a year in
Yeah.
Chicago, and my former teammate deserves to be in the All-Star game. So that's all I'm gonna. I don't care about him anymore. But anyway, let's go to the American League, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw out my guy. This is a guy that I think is crushing it. And if you don't mention the other guy I wanted to do, I'll mention the guy. But Austin Riley is having a breakout season. I mean, he was already good, but this is the third baseman, first baseman with the Braves. Even though we don't like the Braves after them beating us last year, but he's still having a great season with the Braves, and I think he should be in the All-Star game.
Who's that? Who did you say?
Austin Riley.
Oh yeah, Austin Riley. Yeah, I think he hit another home run or something.
I think that's the biggest
Austin,
snub of them all.
Freddie Freeman, I don't believe made the All-Star squad. Correct?
Who?
Freddie Freeman.
Who? He plays for the Dodgers. We don't care.
Yeah, I know, but this is non-Astros. Look, the bottom line is this: the All-Star game is a flawed system. It's a fan system. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. To me, it was more fun and more challenging when you and I talked about how we used to vote, where you had to get a pencil or a straw
or a
and
pen, yeah,
poke the holes and then put it in the ballot box. Who knows if those ballots ever actually made it and who counted those things? Like, did they have a machine to count them? We never questioned the system. So I don't know how many of those votes were fraudulent or real. I think those are rigged.
They probably went to New York, and New York people were like, "Oh, here's another shipment from Houston." Wait, I didn't see it. Yeah. So a guy that you didn't mention, I thought you were going to mention, but Zach Wheeler. This is a guy that probably should have won Cy Young last year, and he's having another great season. So I think Zach Wheeler should have got in, and Luis Castillo did get in. But Zach Wheeler has much better numbers, but I know they needed a red representative. So it just, I don't know what's going on. They need a.
Well, I do.
Different.
So with the position players, it's a fan vote. But with the pitchers, that is the players. And you would think the players would get it more right than not. But every year, because you can't put everybody in the All-Star team, and this isn't I-9 sports, this isn't, everybody gets a participation trophy, someone's going to be left out. And one of the cool things, I don't know if you saw this, and this is a Yankee moment, but it was totally cool. Anthony Rizzo was mic'd up, and he was talking to Nestor Cortez when it was announced that he made the All-Star team. And he said, All-Star pitcher Nestor Cortez, he goes, you're going to be able to say that for the rest of your life. And Nestor Cortez goes, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like,
right.
That was a great moment in baseball. And like Anthony Rizzo's telling Nestor, like this is the first time he's been on there. And that guy, he's had a very good first half. Now, he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but that guy has really embraced the whole New York Bronx vibe. I mean, he is a fan favorite up there. Outside of Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge, he's probably I would say the third most famous Yankee on that squad.
Yeah. Edward asked if does the All-Star game determine home field advantage to World Series, or did they get rid of it?
Thank God, no.
Sorry, Bud Selig, this does not count.
That was a terrible. That was the worst. That was the worst idea since the runner on second. Oh wait, they still have that. Never mind, my bad.
Okay, does who play for the Dodgers? No, Zach Wheeler does not play for the Dodgers. No, I would not cheer on the Dodgers.
Man, there's a name that should be synonymous with All-Stars.
Who?
Who do you think?
Brett Chancey?
Robel Garcia.
Oh, stop. Somebody's already asking who's my new Robel Garcia. I'm waiting for Mauricio Dubon to hit his first home run with the Astros. I don't think he has, right? So
no. So you're the Mauricio Dubon.
Once he hits a home run, I'll start a fan club. Okay. So once he hits a home run, I'll start a fan club. Then, so
hey, make sure you listen to the whole show, because at the end, if you're listening, I'm holding the Jake the Rake bobblehead that we're going to give away, and it's a exclusive. You have to listen or watch the show. We're not going to put any ways to get this bobblehead and entry in online. It's only going to be by listening to the show. So listen for the last segment. I'll tell you what you need to do.
Oh, he did have one home run already? Oh, okay. All right.
So
So,
there you go, Eric.
all right.
Hey, that's okay. I got a
All
shirt
right.
coming your way, buddy.
All right. I'm starting a Mauricio Dubon fan club, apparently. So, all
I
righty.
think you've got more chance of success with this one than the last guy.
Yeah.
I
A little
mean,
bit.
the last guy, the last guy was like Carlos Gomez without the flair or the bat flip pop flies.
Yeah. He's still an underdog. So, but he has a little bit more upside. So I'll stick with this guy more than the last guy. The last guy, it was a grand slam, and I'm like, I'm gonna create a fan club. I like this guy, and then everybody's just like, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so let's go ahead and 'cause you can move on from people. That's why I can replace them. So
Wow.
yeah, where's Garcia playing? Isn't he in foreign country right now playing
I don't
baseball?
know. I don't know where he's playing, but here's the thing: everybody is dogging Dubon. Dubon's had a Dubon is actually a decent major
Yeah,
league player. He just
he
hasn't had
plays
a
great
ton of
shortstop.
opportunity.
And
He
he's playing a lot
does,
more. He's been playing a lot more since Pena has been hurt, and who knows with how long Alvarez is out. And if Alvarez is out for a while, then you may see him playing a lot more outfield. And
right?
but Siri, hopefully he brings some of that AAA magic with him. Let's go, Siri.
You
Hey
know, it's
Siri, let's
funny.
hit some home
Well,
runs.
well, here's the thing. I've got a good friend of mine who actually used to play for the Dominican Republic national team, and him and I were talking through Messenger today, and he said, "Look, Siri got called back up." I wonder if he will stop doing the bat flip. He said, I think if he just hits the ball and doesn't flip the bat, I think he'll have more success. So I mean, he knows Siri, he talks to him, and I think Siri's probably more focused. And I really think that the blessing could be in the curse. And you know, I was one of the ones who publicly I didn't really like excoriate him over. I didn't like rake him over the coals. But the bottom line is this: Siri comes back, he's got more confidence. You need the guy to perform well. And if he's here in place of Yordan, anything he does for the positive, that's good for the team.
Well, guys, I think that Siri is here for a to be a role player, and sometimes you just need the role players, just like a good part for your automobile. And you can't you you need them when you need them. You don't always need them when they're hitting home runs in AAA. Sometimes you just need them when you just need them. So let's talk about Rock Auto.
So whether your car is performing like Jose Siri about to be sent down, or whether it's performing like Yordan Alvarez having an MVP year, you can go to somewhere like RockAuto.com, because it doesn't matter what make, what model, or what year your car is. You go there and you search your database. It's an easy database to search. I've searched it myself. The parts on there, you spend 30, 50, sometimes 100% less. Why go to the auto parts store? I mean, really stop. Don't go to the dealership. Why they're going to upcharge you? Because you're not a mechanic. You're not a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. So why are we going to pay an extra fee and be penalized for something we don't do on the regular? But what we do like to do on the regular is open our pocketbook less and give less money out of our bank account so we can what? Go to more Astros games. And so rockauto.com has all the makes and models you want. It's not just one manufacturer, it's not just one source. It's all these different options, and you get to compare the prices. Like a Honda Odyssey fuel pump is $353 at a chain store, but on Rock Auto, literally it's $216. That's a massive savings. Family owned, do it yourselfers for over 20 years. The prices are reliably low for every customer. Everything you can need: brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even windshield wipers. It doesn't matter. So go explore the easy to use website today and find the solution to your auto parts needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts your car will ever need, or your truck, or your van, and write "Locked On" in the "How Did You Hear About Us" box to make sure that they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliable low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
There's a little discussion going on in the chat about Jose Siri and his bat flat flip. I have no issue with that. I actually like the excitement. Uh,
No,
yeah,
right. Okay.
and go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, it's just how you do it. As long as you're not trying to show up anybody, as long as you're doing it as just as you're excited and not just trying to show up like you're just trying to show up the pitcher. That's when the the other team gets a little bit offended. But if you're just excited, you just go like that or something like that. But if you're just if you stare Brett down and go,
Well, let me put my bat flip criticism in context, because if it's
okay,
taken out of context, then yeah, it sounds like I'm just like this old school fuddy duddy. I don't like celebratory baseball. I love celebratory baseball. But I was talking about the team he was playing, the New York Mets. They are the most hit team. They have been in the most scuffles all year. Their feathers have been ruffled. The Astros are absolutely owning them. The last thing you want to do is upset a team that has that kind of fight in them. That was my point. My point wasn't don't make the game exciting. My point wasn't throw the penalty flag because he's celebrating in the end zone. My point was consider your competition. I understood it because Jose Siri is that type of player. I've interacted with him. I've met him in person. That's his personality. He wasn't doing it maliciously. At the same time, you're a professional. You have to know, you have to read the room. He learned from it. And I feel like in the end, he'll be a better player for it. He's probably still going to celebrate. I want him to go crazy when he slides into home and gets dirty. I want him to pull the arrow back, all that stuff. I don't want him to stop being him. I'm just saying there's a
yeah,
time and a place sometimes for those things. You don't want to provoke the wrong person. Because what happens the next time you do that and Max Scherzer's on the mound? You're getting one between the shoulder blades.
yeah. And Credit Keys brings up a good point. Well, pitchers celebrate when they get three outs in an inning, and they do the whole like Ryan Stanek does, and oh
No,
that
and
that's
yeah,
that's them excited about
you
getting out
need
of the
that.
inning. Yeah,
No, you need emotion, but
right,
you got to do understand though that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction.
right,
And if you do it like if okay, so like if the Astros do a bat flip, huge bat flip against the Dodgers, against the Yankees, it's seen differently if they do it against the
right.
Pirates or you see what I'm saying? Jose Siri, my guy, dude, I love Jose Siri. I love watching him play. He's a fun player. Dude, I hope you bat flip over the net next time. All right, let's just
Yeah.
go all in.
Right. All right. So the Astros are going to be playing the Angels, and game one, it's going to be Luis Garcia versus a Noah Syndergaard Thor. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie yet. I have not, so don't spoil it for me.
I've
But
heard terrible reviews, but go ahead.
okay. So Luis Garcia at 7.5 on season with 3.81 ERA, 87 strikeouts. Who's had success? Brandon Marsh. He's batting 500. Shohei Ohtani is batting 333 with 2 home runs. And then you also have Jared Walsh, who's batting 500 with 2 home runs. And I'm trying not to put him together like the 90210 guy. Like I did earlier together, Brandon Wash or whatever. The
Oh, okay.
the character.
Sorry.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I used to watch that show a long, long time ago. Then Noah Syndergaard actually had a great start. I'll talk about the start earlier, but Noah Syndergaard is 5-7 with 3.84 ERA, 55 strikeouts. He's actually done pretty good against the Astros this year. Chas McCormick, of all people, is batting 500 in 2 at-bats, and Kyle Tucker is batting 500 in 2 at-bats. And he actually started against the Astros on April 9th. He pitched 5 1/3 innings. He only had 1 strikeout, but he shut out the Astros in that game. Only allowed 2 hits. And I think, let me see, what the Astros win or lose that game. I think they lost that game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Angels won that game 2-0.
So, but here's what we got to think about. The Angels just got swept by the Baltimore Orioles. The
Right.
Angels are not playing good baseball. The other day, like Otani and Trout and some other guy like went back to back to back. And they hit all these home runs and they lost like 9-4. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all about the Angels. If we don't sweep the Angels, I'm going to be disappointed. I think this needs to be a sweep, even without Yordan Alvarez. This needs to be a sweep. This team is in shambles. They don't have any leadership. They have the turmoil with not really having the manager, or the manager they have got suspended. They had all these issues with fighting. I just think that, yeah, The
That was
Angels
a cool
are.
fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a cool fight, but dude, Scott Service still didn't serve any time for getting stuff started with that. But anyways, I digress.
I mean, for somebody that's kind of mild mannered, he sure gets into a lot of fights there. In game two, it's be Christian Javier, who's 6-4 on the season with a 3.01 ERA with 102 strikeouts, facing Shohei Ohtani, who's 8-4 with a 2.44 ERA with 111 strikeouts. I am telling you, that's going to be an epic matchup, especially if Christian Javier is on his A game. That's going to be probably the best game of the series.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Christian Javier is going to come out with, he's going to come out with his hair on fire. He didn't get selected to the All-Star team. I don't know if that's a motivating factor for him or not. But the Houston Astros, I think, come into Anaheim and they take care of business. Instead of a sweep, is this only 3-game series, right? Because
Yes.
I heard a 4-game sweep is called a mop. I can't wait till we get to mop somebody. But here's the deal. A year ago today, Jose Altuve hit a home run that sent the Yankees packing, and the Astros ripped his jersey off at home plate. And as he's rounding third, Jeff Blum said, "Wow, I felt a buzz about that hit when he hit it." And they trolled the Yankees. And if you follow me on Twitter, go look at what I posted tonight. I inscribed the Yankees Daddy tattoo on Altuve's chest, and just love that moment. That was a great Houston Astros moment. That was a great time to remember that a year ago today, Jose Altuve crushed once again the Yankees. This Angels series, Eric, I think is still going to be fun to watch. I think they're going to come out swinging the bats. I mean, they just got swept. Valdez will be the last pitcher. They don't have anyone mentioned for their starting pitcher. Maybe it's a bullpen day. I don't know. But the Ohtani Javier matchup will be a good matchup. It'll be nice to see that. And I would love to get one over on Ohtani, actually 1 or 2 over the fence on him.
Yeah. And just looking at the Astros rotation, when can you honestly say you have a team, even with somebody like Lance McCullers out, where you have a good pitcher going out every day, even with Jake Odorizzi? It's crazy.
This team is stacked. This team has got one of the top bullpens. This team has got one of the top rotations. I mean, even without Yordan not in there, we still got one of the best lineups. And if Corey Lee can get a couple starts this weekend or this week, and he can keep hitting, because remember, he hasn't struck out yet. If he can keep doing that, keep putting the bat on the ball, and they'll start mixing him in more. They'll start mixing him in with Marty Maldonado. He'll earn his spot. But be patient with the Astros using that. They're not going to throw him to the wolves, and they're going to make sure he's primed and ready to go. So, for me, that's it. I just want to tell everybody this. If you're watching the show or if you're listening, I want you to go to I believe it's Locked On Astros at Gmail, correct? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you do, Locked On Astros at Gmail, and I want you to put Jake Myers bobblehead in the subject line. And in the email, I need you to send me a screenshot of you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all we ask. Just show us that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Put Jake Myers bobblehead in the subject line, or Jake the Rake in the subject line, and then put a screenshot and you'll be entered. I'm not going to announce this on Twitter and type. I'm not going to announce it on Instagram. You have to listen to the show to know what the contest is, or you have to watch it. So go do that. I'm going to stop the entries on Saturday. I'll put everybody in a pinwheel. I'll randomly spin it, and I will draw it live on Sunday night. And I will probably ask for a few dollars to help out with shipping and handling, because these are not cheap to ship, but a few bucks here or there, $4 or $5 would help me out a lot on doing that.
And he didn't even get one of those for me, guys. So y'all must be special. So, so Locked On listeners must be real special there. So that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Make sure you check us out after hopefully a late Astros victory tomorrow night. So my name is Eric Huysman. His name is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, and we will see you tomorrow. Go Astros.